up, everyone? It's me, Stef The Alter Nerd, your nerdy alternative, and I am joined live with my good friend, Sue Smith. Thank you so much for joining me on the first ever Royal Clubhouse Live. Appreciate your face. And we are going to kick off now with the Royal Zero of the Week. Everyone in the live chat, stay tuned because there will be a poll up and you get to choose your Royal Hero, or, your Royal Zero of the Week when I can get my teeth in. But with that being said, Sue, let's kick off with you. Who is your Royal Zero of the Week?
Harry. Harry is my royal hero or zero of the week. What a zero. Ugh.
Why?
Because I think Meghan has cut off his testicles and stuck them in a drawer with a bomb next to them. And I think she's got the detonator in her hand. And he has never once been able to stand up to her. And, you know, they did multiple edits of that CBS interview and he's sitting there looking all uncomfortable. He should have said, cut, get your hand off my knee. Instead, he's leaning like this as far over as he can get. This man has no balls. He has never been able to stand up to his wife. And I just feel like I'm glad the two of them met each other. Now the two of them are the only ones miserable instead of four people. There you go.
I tell you something though, the body language mirrored what happened at the ESPYs a couple of weeks back. Did you notice that?
I did notice that. And I also noticed as they were leaving the ESPYs, they were horribly heckled and somebody yelled out, "She's no Princess of Wales." And I mean, they word out, or I heard a rumor. I usually don't report on unsubstantiated rumors, but word out through the grapevine is that somebody asked them to leave because they were distracting. And there were a lot of veterans there that were actually very upset that Harry accepted that award. So, you know, he immediately got that award and then they left the building in the middle of the show. They didn't stick around for everybody else to get their awards. And then they got heckled on their way out the door. So I have absolutely no doubt that that's what happened. He should never have accepted that award.
No, he should have never accepted that award. But you see here the same kind of body language where Megsy's leaning in, hand on his knee, and Prince has it. He's leaning away. He don't want out to do. Exact same body language at the ESPYs. His hands again the same in the middle. Nowhere near Megsy. There is no reciprocal kind of physical affection from Harry to Meghan as there is from Meghan to Hazza. And if anything, I don't think here that this is any kind of physical affection from Megsy to Hazza. I think this is Megsy through physical touch trying to control Hazza.
She was telling him to be quiet is what I think was happening. But I also noticed that the Etsy awards are not the Etsy, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah. She grabbed his hand as he was getting up. Literally, he had to get her off. And, you know, so I almost feel like she wanted him to pull her up onto the stage. And he was like, no. But at the same time, he had no business on that stage. You know, they say they gave him that award because of Invictus. Then he should have had some representatives from Invictus show up and collect the awards, not the patron who uses Invictus as a cash cow. You know, you're looking at people that are multimillionaires that have earned, by their own admission, they've earned $50-60 million between the Spare, Spotify, and Netflix total. And yet they refuse to pay for their own airfare, their own hotel, their own security, her clothing and jewelry. This is all part of Invictus, is from what I can tell. And this is why when other people complained about it, two of the upper level people complained, they were removed and there was a shuffle. And even with all the money that Canada has pledged, there's a shortfall and morale is low and people are worried. Look at Germany. Germany's split off completely. They're doing their own Invictus thing. They're not part of this anymore. He should never have taken that award. But beyond that, he has no balls. He can't stand up to his wife. That marriage is not equal. You can't have a good marriage if you're not equal. And they're not equal.
No, they're not. And just a little bit of a side note in terms of what you said there about the Canadian Vancouver Whistler Games. I've reported it on this channel. Angela Levin has turned around and said through her sources that the Canadian delegate, they don't want the Invictus Games anymore. It's over
Correct.
budget. It's all about the Hazza and Megzy show. The spotlight ain't on the veterans. It's an absolute nightmare. They just want to drop it like it's hot shiz at this point.
I heard, again, there was a rumor, it was online, that the reason that Birmingham was chosen for the next Invictus Games in the UK, even though Birmingham declared bankruptcy and they're up to their eyeballs in debt, they had already announced it was between those two places. Washington withdrew their offer. That's what the rumor is.
Okay.
So they kind of had to choose Birmingham, even though they're up to their, the trash isn't being picked up. They're dimming the streets lights at night. They're closing the libraries and they're cutting all the services because they don't have the money and they just declared bankruptcy, but yet somehow they're going to have the money for Invictus.
Make it make sense. I did a video on this actually a couple of weeks ago when it was announced that Birmingham was going to hold the next Invictus Games. And let's put it this way. To me, it's not surprising when Hazza was swanning around being pally-pally with the Veterans Minister. That same Veterans Minister that on one of his court cases, which is the one where he's fighting the UK government for taxpayer security, the judge there reprimanded Hazza, turning around and saying, you've just let out confidential information outside of the circle of trust to other people, including, the Veterans Minister.
Yeah.
This ain't a coincidence at all, I don't think.
This is a man who screams about privacy and has no problem violating other people's privacy. He's violated court orders. His wife has been caught lying in court. This is a man who says, just call me Harry, but then in court he wants, when Harry and Meghan are on these events, they ask to be called sir and ma'am. I wonder if we're going to see all that hand-holding crap in Colombia. We'll see. It'll be interesting to see what happens.
It'll definitely be interesting to see what it happens. So that is Sue's Zero of the Week. Prince Hazza. For me, guys, it's Megzy. It's Megzy, and let me explain why. The CBS interview, of course, dominated the Hazza and Megzy world this week, and she just freaking contradicted herself every which way that she could, really, at this point, including this little nugget here. So I mentioned earlier on in the live stream, about 4 months ago when she was at that South by West panel, she turns around and she says that here, you can watch this video, that she doesn't go on social media or the internet. She stays away from it for her own sanity. However, in this new interview from CBS, all of a sudden she knows what's going on, guys, on social media. She knows what's going on the internet. She says we know what's going on in the online space. Well, hang on a minute. How do you know what's going on in the online space if in the same breath you stay away from said online space? It makes zero sense. So to me, what has she just done? Opinion, conspiracy theory, whatever? She has just exposed herself for having, as far as I'm concerned, secret social media accounts, which we've all suspected that she's had for a while. Neil Sean has even said, that she's got 7, 8.
6 of them, he said.
6 of them, apparently. Baroness Brooke is supposedly one of them. Maya is supposedly another. Opinion, conspiracy theory, whatever, right? So for me, her turning around here 4 or 5 months later and saying, we know what's going on in the online space, she's just exposed herself. She goes on the internet. She goes on social media. She's got socials. And what she said here was an absolute load of freaking BS. And for the cherry on top, guys, the royal family completely give her 2 fingers up in the air. It's your birthday. We don't give a shiz, lass. We don't give a shiz. We ain't publicly acknowledging it. Screw you, you evil moo cow, you. We're done. we're done. So for me, guys, that is my Royal Zero of the week. The poll is already up, guys, in the live chat. You've got a few more minutes to vote before we end this segment and the first ever Royal Clubhouse live with myself and Sue Smith. We do have a couple of very, very kind support coming our way. Stephen Magnus gifting 1 leadership to one of you lucky lots out there. So everyone say, hey, up to our newest leader, courtesy of Stephen Magnus. Appreciate your face. Thank you, thank you. And Catherine Thompson responded in kind, gifted another leadership to one of you lucky lots out there. So everyone say, hey, up to our newest leaders, courtesy of Stephen and Catherine. And that only means one thing, guys. It's nearly the end of the stream, but officially the gifting wars have begun.
Who is the best? Who was the best zero? Who won?
We're going to find out in a minute. But thank you so much to Catherine for gifting that. Appreciate your face. We also have Ms. M, who has gifted 1 leadership to one of you lucky lots out there. So everyone say, hey, up to our newest leader, courtesy of Ms. M. You got a few more seconds to vote, so make your vote count in the poll. We've got Sarai. Thank you so much for your continued support for the leadership, saying, LOL, I love what you're saying, Sue. He has no balls.
I think we pretty much knew that he'd been neutered. Oh my God.
Pretty much.
Oh my God.
Neutered with a blunt,
Rusty
object of some kind. Who freaking knows at this point? With that being said, let's end this poll and see what's what. Oh my goodness. Here we go. All right, so 155 of you voted. Drum roll, please. With a whopping 70% of the vote, Megsy. Yes!
Oh, you won this.
I won one. Yes, I won one.
But she's always the worst. Just once, you got to let Harry be worse than her. Just
hey, sometimes Haz is the worst. Like a couple of weeks back on the ESPYs, he would have been voted the worst.
Oh, absolutely.
I would have thought.
Absolutely.
So no, it's not so much of a slam dunk. But yeah, your Royal Zero of the week is Meghan Markle with a whopping 70% of the votes, with Prince Harry coming in with 29% of the votes. Guys, everyone on the live stream, stay exactly where you are. We will be running for a couple more minutes. Everyone else on the replay, if you appreciated this video and you want more, believe me, of course, there's going to be more, then make sure you subscribe to join our Alter Nerd tribe, because I'll be honest with you, help us now get to 1 million so we can also get that gold play button right there and hopefully cause a Meghan Markle meltdown on Instagram. Like, share, comment down below your opinion, conspiracy theories, whatever's. Also as well, if you appreciated what was coming out of Sue's gob, and nearly 30% of you did, so head on over to Sue's channel here on the YouTube. Sue, when they come over to your channel, what are they to expect?
They're going to get all the royal news, everybody from Harry and Meghan to Andrew to the King and Charles. You get everything. And you also get information on the royals that are not from the UK, other royals.
Interesting. So if you love that, and of course you do, head on over to Sue's channel right now. Again, everyone on the live stream, stay exactly where you are. But for those watching on the replay, thank you so much for tuning in. Appreciate your faces. Until the next time, laters.